Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Extend.
They will start this drive with Ford. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep.
Here we go.
2nd down and 6 now.
Up. Right.
Back to throw. Fields. Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, look at this Baltimore defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Here we go, Scott. Right.
Now Fields. That is caught. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact, but that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on.
He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now Jackson. And he will find his man on the outside. Hook up of 15 yards there, and it's 2nd down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. In motion, Hill. Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
The Browns drive about to get started. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Again, they turn to Ford. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Watch right. Hey, can't. Sit high.
Out of the gun, Fields. This is the tight end, Njoku. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
Right.
Here's Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's Ford. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
Right.
This is Ford. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Jerome Ford, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Quick, ready? Ready, shot.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Finding space at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space.
and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Get on! What are these? What is it on? Get on!
Now it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. In motion, Hill. 4th down. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
1st down, here's Mitchell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Safety Grant Delpit up to make the play. The Ravens at 8-4 now on the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Jackson. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Jackson's going to try the sneak, and he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll run with Mitchell. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Here's Jackson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal, pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th. 3rd and goal, and still a long way from the end zone. Here's Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught at the 7. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Here we go. Go.
Off play action, Fields. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down.
Here we go, shot. Shot.
Fields now to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The Browns send out their punter now. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Throwing is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Facing second and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
13.
To throw is Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's second and 10.
Hey, Alpha, it's hot. You change it.
Jackson from the shotgun. They complete it to Hill. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Second and 10. Now it's Jackson. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
To throw again is Jackson. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
And his kick is good. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
A handoff from Mitchell running left. And he's got room. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Running left, here's Mitchell. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Hey, Ozzy.
Jackson now. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And going deep for Hill. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Browns drive about to get started.
Don't jump. Ready?
Fields changing the play. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And, oh, he takes a shot at the end of that play.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Slot man moves right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 31 yards there and a first down.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it? To see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. I think the O-line, they might like and take more satisfaction out of those runs than anybody else, though, right?
Without a doubt, because they're the ones that often have created it.
Hey, Ken. Extend. Go.
Here's Fields. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. We're good. All right.
They run with Ford, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Here we go.
3rd down and 10.
Right.
To throw is Fields. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he returns this to the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Right back to Mitchell on second down. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
No, we changed it.
Play action. Now Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And running with power here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson can really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Flush to his right. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. In motion left, Hill. From the gun, Jackson. Finding Walker, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. 35 yards. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
In motion, Hill. After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's got his big tight end here. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 35. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They run over center with Mitchell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week,
He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Yo.
Jackson escapes the sack, eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here we go.
Back to throw, Fields. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now it's Fields. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Fields. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Don't jump. Ready? Set.
Now Fields. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Here we go, Scott. No mud, no mud. That.
Fields. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hey, 551, 551. Right.
Here's Fields. Dancing to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He finds his man complete. It's Ford. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. From the gun, here's Fields. Caught on a slant. Touchdown, Browns. From 6 yards away. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Go.
Now it's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
13. You change it. Hey, middle. Shot.
Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
180.
A give here to Mitchell. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. His 6th rushing touchdown on the year, number 8 overall. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
To throw again on second down. Fields. And that is taken in by Njoku. Still going. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Ford is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
This 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Mitchell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
That last throw, CD, going to move him even further up that all-time passing leaderboard as he just moved beyond Broadway Joe Namath at 27,663 yards.
And that's impressive because Joe Namath, my goodness, he could throw a football. I mean, it was just gorgeous the way he threw it. Rallied his Jets to a Super Bowl win, one of the greatest upsets in NFL history. Broadway Joe, the man. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Right back to Mitchell on second down.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
89 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And they get him down right near the midfield stripe.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive can take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
A give running right is Mitchell.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Ravens, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Browns, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.